Ladies and gentlemen, Republicans, when they take over the House and almost certainly the Senate, will impeach President Mashed Potato Brains probably numerous times. This is a huge story that people need to start talking about. Share this segment everywhere because it's not just me. I'm not just telling you this in the morning on June 2nd, 2022, just to get views. Okay, I'm almost at 200,000 subs. Thank God I'm doing fine on YouTube. And I base my views on public record and reputable sources. Here, University of Massachusetts. Over 2/3 of Republicans think President Biden should be impeached if the GOP retakes the House, according to new national UMass Amherst poll. Okay, the results of a new national University of Massachusetts Amherst poll released today show that more than 2/3 of Republicans believe that the House of Representatives should impeach President Mashed Potato Brains if the GOP retakes the House in this fall's midterm elections. That's a UMass article, press release, based on their poll. Now, it's probably a lot higher than 2/3 of Republicans. But here, new group of GOP lawmakers file articles of impeachment against Mashed Potato Brains. So that's the Hill. They filed the articles of impeachment in 2021 in September. Now you have 36% approval rating just the other week. Biden's public approval rating falls to 36%, lowest of his presidency. That's Reuters. Now within these polls, within the recent Reuters poll, 19%. He has 19% disapproval among Democrats. Mashed Potato Brains. Among Democrats. And 86%, something like that, among Republicans. But if you look, they know what's going on. They know what's going to happen, Democrats. A new Republic article, the Republicans are going to spend 2 years impeaching Joe Biden over and over again. When the GOP retakes the House in 2023, a flurry of bogus investigations will follow. So, they're going to... Okay, we know that they know that Mashed Potato Brains is going to be impeached. We know that. One of the reasons he's going to be impeached, I mean, you can look at the economy. I mean, if you could impeach a president because of a horrible economy and terrible foreign policy, that would happen with this administration. Inflation, 8 to 9%. Inflation was around 2% under Trump. Gas prices, through the roof. Gas prices were less than $3 with Trump. Economic growth was wonderful with Donald Trump. Economic growth is terrible with our current president, Mashed Potato, and we're going into a recession, 2 quarters of negative GDP. We had negative GDP in the first quarter, almost certainly going to have negative GDP or anemic growth in the second quarter. But you have fossil fuels, gas prices at all-time highs because he wanted to decarbonize the economy immediately after gaining the Oval Office. Then he was sued by 14 states and oil and gas associations. Within the lawsuits, they state that his policies are causing an increase in oil and gas prices. It's literally within these lawsuits. Okay, you can't claim to decarbonize the economy and then wonder why oil and gas is at all-time highs. Everything Democrats touch turns into the fertilizer that's now 300 to 500% more expensive. So everything from possible food shortages to a tremendous increase in price when you go to the supermarket. I mean, you can tell me below, how much more does it cost when you go to the supermarket now? We have inflation at 8 to 9%. So interest rates now are going up as we're heading into a recession with inflation that's still a serious issue. It was skyrocketing. It probably still is skyrocketing. And we have a geopolitical nightmare. We had another geopolitical nightmare when Biden completely botched the Doha Agreement that Trump negotiated. Opposing Lincoln Project miserably failed foreign policy. But the reason he's going to get impeached is the following. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you the reason he's going to get impeached. It's not just because crime, homelessness, inflation, the economy stinks, foreign policy is an abomination. It's not just because of that. Hit subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. In September of 2021, I told everyone on this channel, the Stock Market Crash channel, and on the playlist that you can see below in the pinned comment and in the description, that we are going to have, the stock market is going to collapse. We're seeing that. So I accurately predicted the crash that we're seeing take place in slow motion. I have a segment on the Stock Market Crash channel right now. Definitely watch it. And in the Bitcoin Crash channel, to Bitcoin Crash to 10,000 or lower channel. I don't want that to happen, but unfortunately it's going to happen. I predicted that as well. Watch that channel. To my new Patreons, thank you so very, very much. I cannot thank you enough. Your support is greatly appreciated. Share this segment everywhere. It's very, very important. And become a member of this channel. But if you want to, I come with the receipts. When I talk about crypto and I talk about the stock market, I've been telling you since September of 2021, go to the description and go to the pinned comment and you can see I'm not just some doom and gloom person that's trying to jump on a bandwagon. I was saying these things before Janet Yellen just recently said, oh yeah, that's right, we were wrong on inflation. So definitely watch those segments. Go to the description and the pinned comment. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you. This is a New York Post article. The deal also listed 10 Jim and 10 held by H for the big guy. This is a New York Post article referencing a 10% cut that Joe is being given from Hunter. That's not lawful. Sorry, it's not. If you're a wonderful, morally superior liberal Democrat who stumbles upon this segment and said, oh my God, H.A. Goodman, oh my God, what a clown, what a horrible person, what a bad human being. How could you go from Bernie Sanders to Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump doesn't have actual, real scandals. They're fabricated. A Steele dossier was purchased by Clinton and utilized by everyone to set him up and frame him within the U.S. government. That's not a conspiratorial theory. That's an actual fact. They utilized the Steele dossier, literally purchased by Trump's direct political rival. Imagine if Rudy Giuliani purchased the Steele dossier and then utilized it against mashed potato brains or Madam Secretary. By the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. I'm praying for a Hillary nomination, Clinton, and it's either Hillary Trump or Hillary DeSantis versus DeSantis or versus Trump 2024. That would be fantastic for many reasons, but I want all these wonderful liberal YouTubers who claim to go up against the system to tell their viewers again to vote for Hillary. It'll be fantastic. But anyway, imagine if Donald Trump or Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. Or Jared Kushner was asked for advice on how you can use your influence on a specific energy company's behalf. Imagine if you were doing business, or if the Trumps were doing business with someone sanctioned by the U.S. government. Imagine if emails showed that hundreds of millions of dollars in deals in countries like China and other countries, Russia, were obtained, or Ukraine, by the Trumps. Imagine if the shoe were on the other foot. They impeached Trump. He never told anyone to commit any, illegal acts 2 years ago. They still impeached him. He said peaceful, and again, they still impeached him. They impeached him over the absurd notion that he was trying to investigate mashed potato brains, and that was something horrible. So, but the president of that country that was on the phone call with him literally stated that he was never pressured. And his predecessor stated the same thing. So, I've only read 2 emails. There are endless emails, not just numerous, endless emails that show pay-to-play schemes. And not just graft, illegal activity. Companies around the world and business or billionaires or shady individuals know if they do business with Hunter, the United States government is not going to investigate them, or they'll get beneficial treatment. And it's within those emails. And the story was suppressed. The New York Post should have gotten a Pulitzer Prize. But you only get a Pulitzer Prize if you spread a absurd fake news conspiratorial theory that Trump was installed by the Kremlin, which never happened. So when Joe Scarborough at MSNBC says, the Durham probe should end, he doesn't know that the Steele dossier was purchased by the Democratic Party in the Clinton campaign, and they paid FEC fines. They broke FEC laws and guidelines, and they had to be fined by the FEC for using campaign money to fund a dossier that was, by the way, compiled with help from an intelligence official in the Kremlin. So now who is interfering with another country or joining forces or trying to collude with another country? Nobody was colluding with another country other than the Democratic Party and Clinton. Again, I want a Clinton-Trump 2024. They cheated Bernie Sanders. They purchased the Steele dossier, and even the Alexander Downer absurd nonsense. Downer is linked directly to their foundation. Andrew McCabe was given money, hundreds of thousands of dollars from Democrats in Virginia. Peter Strzok literally stated, "We'll stop Trump." Sussman actually told Baker, I'm not coming on behalf of anyone else. I'm coming on behalf of myself. But he still got off because nobody believed the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They were all in on it. And so Durham, like I've been saying, has to go utilize 18 U.S. Code 371, get people indicted under that. And I wrote about that in the Federalist. Just Google H.A. Goodman Federalist, and you'll see all my writing. You'll see why Bernie supporters should vote for Trump. And you'll also see why McCabe and Comey should be charged under 18 U.S. Code 371. Like, he has to go big. He can't just play small ball. But anyway, that's another story. Biden's going to get impeached because he and his son and his brother engaged in what Tammany Hall would do. Plunkett of Tammany Hall. It's the book. They've engaged in honest graft. Plunkett of Tammany Hall. There you go. A series of very plain talks. Hold on one second. The Plunkett of Tammany Hall. A series of very plain talks on very practical politics. This has been happening, ladies and gentlemen. Honest graft has been taking place within the Democratic Party for a very long time. Democrats know how to utilize government to enrich themselves. Trump didn't care about that. Trump upended the apple cart. He didn't care about intelligence agencies, Trump. He didn't care about the military-industrial complex. He didn't care about never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. He didn't care about endless military interventions. He didn't care about not engaging in tariffs, which he did. And it actually was a short-term tactic for a long-term strategy. But they didn't, that was one of their sacred cows. Democrats have a whole bunch of sacred cows. So do never-Trump Republicans. And that's why we have the world we live in with so much dysfunction. And Trump said, "Yeah, I just want to make the country prosperous and ensure that we don't get into never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts like the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people, like the Lincoln Project. And don't think the Lincoln Project and the Never-Trump Republicans and the Bill Kristols of the world and the one or two publications that are neoconservative influenced publications. Don't think that people don't understand that they were against marriage equality and they were against everything that is sacred in this day and age, rightfully so. I'm for marriage equality, I always was. But not the neoconservatives, not the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Republicans. They could be canceled in 2 seconds. In a nanosecond. a number of them who are now embedded within the Democratic Party. But see, Trump opposed the Bush-Liz Cheney people. They couldn't have that. So Democrats would much rather have a Bush than a Trump. Because Democrats don't care about never-ending military conflict. They really don't. They care about mean tweets. And they certainly don't care about an economy in freefall or, zero diplomacy. They don't care about any of that stuff. But they don't also, they condone obvious graft and pay-to-play quid pro quo schemes, which is exactly what took place. Those emails that were suppressed on Twitter, there was a reason why Twitter silenced and suspended the New York Post. And when Jack Dorsey says, it was an accident, that, of course, without a shadow of a doubt, is an absolute lie. Everyone, including Dorsey, almost certainly, at Twitter knew it harmed Democrats, and so we're going to suppress it. And that is the antithesis of democracy. From the same people who pontificate about democracy. Anyway, he's going to get impeached, people. So don't worry about Sussman. Who knew who Michael Sussman was? Durham should be indicting top officials. Okay? He'll get the conviction with Danchenko. If you watch this channel, I was saying an acquittal is very, very possible. But we'll have numerous impeachments, probably two. I can't imagine more than two, but it'll be similar to the way they treated Trump. And payback, so you know what? Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here in about 2 hours. I'll have another upload. Thank you. What I'm going to try to do is actually schedule and do these uploads at 9 p.m. every morning. So be here every single morning at 9 p.m. Thank you.